In this lesson, we're going to be looking at landing flicks through a beat action or an attaque as our principal way of landing touches. Now, the important distinction to draw is that though we have looked at previous lessons where we are working on flicks, this is neither a direct attack nor is it considered a parry post. Now, the reason why is because instead of attacking the target directly, we are actually stopping at the blade first. And where this diverges from a parry is where you are engaging the blade. If it is a parry, you are defending yourself, and that means it is your force against their foil. It means the attack has traveled forward, you have to defend yourself, so you're going to make an effective parry. However, with a beat attack, with an attaque, you're going to be a little bit farther away, and you want to attack using the foil of your blade against the foil of the blade. This allows you to be a little bit faster. If you use your fork, it's going to be a little bit bigger, and so it will be slower. You are going to use the foible to initiate your attack, first on the blade, and then on the target. But before we look at how we do the attack, we're going to explain why we might be attacking the blade in the first place. Why would we want to do a beat attack instead of a direct attack? Well, we are attacking the blade first and foremost to make sure that we ourselves maintain right of way and disrupt anything our opponent might be setting up. So if Lang Chen stands on guard for a second here, he puts his mask on. I'm going to beat his blade if I suspect he is good with his timing. So if he does a counterattack, if I am going to do a preparation, I step in and he just hits me, this is no good for me. I'm too close, he has the timing, he's going to hit me. So what can I do? I can beat his blade, I can make sure it's not in the same place. This is not going to be broken time because it is not a parry. I am instead just attacking the blade. So if I'm right here, Lang Chen is on guard, so he's getting ready to counterattack me, but I'm beating his blade. He doesn't have the ability to stop at me as easily or counterattack, and then I can make my own attack. So we are beating the blade to be disruptive, prevent our opponent from being able to land those touches they really want. The first beat attack that we're going to be looking at is going to be taking the blade in 4 and landing the attack in 6, so the outside block. Now Lang Chen's going to do this. What I want you to pay attention to is that we're going to be at a relatively good distance because you want to set up the attack from outside. You don't want to get very close. And you don't have to take the blade once. You can do it twice, 3 times. It really depends on what you feel you need and how much time you have to set up your attack. So we're going to stand on guard. And in the on guard position, you can see our blades are overlapping just a little bit. This is good for the beat. And he's going to take it in 4, land the riposte in action, the attack right here. So we're both on guard, and he's going to make his attack. And there is the beat attack. So in this case, he's taking in 4, like so. And then there's the attack there. This is a very effective, very strong beat. You can do it multiple times. You can go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, boom. Whatever you need to generate the necessary intensity to land that touch. Now that we have seen a beat attack in 4, we're now going to put it into a little bit more movement. So as I mentioned earlier, you don't have to take the blade just once. You can take it a few times, beat, 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 beat. And this is usually as you're advancing forward. You've probably seen some fences do this in the past where they're just kind of smacking the blade around. This is really just being disruptive as they work out where they want to finish their attack. So in this case, Lang Chen's going to be the defensive fencer here. I'm going to be pressing the attack, and I'll be beating his blade. So I'll get you right here at the center line. We'll move a little bit. So we're on guard. Fast on. So this is our distance. This is kind of what you're going to see happen here. Just beat, beat, beat. Lang Chen's on guard. I'm going to be advancing. He's going to be retreating. And there's the attack. Okay? So, as you can see, the beat is really just a means of establishing your intent, figuring out where you want to go. You don't have to just take it once. You don't have to stick to a single line. I'm going 4, 6, 4, 6, 4, 6. This is perfectly fine. So long as you keep that beat on the foible, it doesn't want to come up here onto the fort. Now, Lang Chen's retreating. Why? Because as he's retreating and I'm beating his blade, he's really not finding that opening, that time he needs to make a stop hit or an attack in preparation. Because I'm playing off his blade so much and so frequently that any attempt for him to come in just closes the distance, allows me to find the target soon. That is very important. So if you're initiating this action, you're on guard, you're just beating until you find the line you want to take. That's important. The last beat attack that we're going to be looking at here is the low line, so beating in 8 and 7. Now before we do that, you might be asking yourself, why would I waste my time beating the low line? High line is exposed, why not just do a direct attack to the high line? Don't even have to flick and just do a lunge. Well, the reality is, generally speaking, especially against a more advanced, experienced fencer, this low line is a trap. I'm holding it here, inviting you to attack me in the high line. So what happens? Boom, I duck, I counter-attack and hit, or I displace, deny you that target. So beating the blade robs your opponent of that opportunity. It allows you to land your touch more effectively. So in this case, Lang Chen's going to be doing the low line, and I will be beating. So I'm going to get you to stand on guard. And I'm going to get started by beating the blade in 8. So I'm going to get him to take one more step back, so it's not my fork against his foil. And you can see I can take the blade. This is more disruptive. And where am I going to land my attack? Well, as you can see, I'm beating, bringing the blade back, beating, bringing the blade back. This means after the beat, blade comes back, there is the attack. So it's a winding. It gives you time. So if you're strong against the blade, again, back to on guard, you can do it in a very fluid action. You don't have to do it many times. You can do it once or twice, and you can land the attack. It's a very strong beat attack. But of course, you can also do it in 7. So if he's on guard again, nice and low, one more step back. So you're beating in this direction. Where do you want to land your attack? Well, you can beat and then come back to the other side. It's a little bit risky though, because you'll be cutting across the blade. Or you can go to the high line, which is, again, you're beating here, and then up and over. These are strong beat attacks. You can play with multiple lines. Now that we understand all those beat attacks, let's quickly take a look at why we are making a beat attack using a flick to begin with. Generally speaking, conventional beat attack is going to be very direct, so mask off, on guard. So if I take the blade, I'm going to beat in 4, and I'm going to make my lunge. The issue here is Lang Chen's going to parry me, and it denies my attack quite quickly. So what is the advantage of the flick? Well, I'm hitting an oblique surface, so that means it's a target that's not facing me, and therefore not necessarily easy to defend because you might not be aware of it, or you just don't have that skill yet to defend that hidden line. So if I take it in 4, he's ready to parry in 4, and there's the attack. The flick gives you the opportunity to exploit a target that is not necessarily available to you through line of sight, and therefore out of sight and out of mind of the defender. They forget it's there, so you can attack it more easily. So that means instead of doing a direct beat attack against the surface, you can go to the sides while maneuvering very